ExtremeTerrain.com, and today we are checking out this Jeep License by Red Rock HD rear bumper with the LED Jeep logo, backlight, fitting all 2020 and newer JT Gladiators. Now this rear bumper will be a perfect fit for the JT owner who is in search of a stout and stylish rear bumper for their Gladiator that's going to provide the vital benefits of a heavy-duty rear bumper, but also be an eye catcher at the same time. Now this is going to be a great option to match with any front bumper while simultaneously adding utility and some uniqueness to the rear with the backlit Jeep logo, which is great if you like adding that iconic branding into your build. Now along with the logo, this rear bumper is a Jeep licensed, so you can rest assured that you're getting factory-like quality without the dealer price point. Now this will for sure turn some heads thanks to the red backlit Jeep logo right in the center, tying in and matching the taillights to add a little more character to the rear end. Now the rest of the bumper will also have that rugged heavy-duty appearance with the boxy full coverage build, but leave some room on either side for some better clearance compared to other choices with larger ends. Now it's also going to come with 2 shackle mounts and black shackles with isolators for a uniform look and to resist any clanging on the back or extra noise. And they're going to be useful if you're doing any off-roading with your JT and need a rear end recovery point. Now, the bumper will also accommodate for all of the factory features, so you don't have to sacrifice anything with cutouts for the hitch plug, hitch backup sensors, and license plate lighting. Now this will be made of a 3/16 inch steel plate construction, tough enough to handle the abuse of on and off-road hazards, and will have a tough black powder coat on top with an epoxy pre-coat underneath. That pre-coat and top coat will prevent any rust from forming and help resist surface scratching to keep this rugged appearance. Now the lighting will also be an LED for a bright construction and a long-lasting one, and will come with a full wiring harness, as you can see here, to make the wiring very clear-cut. Now the rest of the bumper is also completely bolt-on and will come with all of the hardware needed for a full installation, including swapping over those factory functions. This will come in at about $425, which is relatively affordable for a full rear bumper, especially one that has Jeep-backed quality. Now compared to others on this site, this will have an aggressive appearance without being super busy in design if you want to keep the look a little bit more toned down while getting all of the features that you would want out of a heavy-duty rear bumper. The Jeep light also makes a huge difference in style for the truck and adds that extra edge without being too flashy, making it a great option for your Gladiator. Install will be a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and it's not that difficult at all, but it may require an extra hand to get it mounted up to the Jeep. Now I would say about 2 hours or so in order to get the job done, but at this point I'm going to pass you over to one of our customers. They have installed this on their Gladiator and is going to walk you through a detailed breakdown of how to get this onto yours at home. So that is going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and jump into the install.
The tools that you're going to need for this project are some ratchets. So I've got a 3/8 inch drive as well as a 1/2 inch drive and a extension. My deep sockets, I used a 18 millimeter, a 16 millimeter, and a 15 millimeter deep socket. My short ones, I just used a 16 millimeter and a 21 millimeter. I did use a ratcheting wrench, and this is 18 millimeter. You're definitely going to need this. An impact driver, a cordless 3/8 inch with a T45 star, screwdriver, pair of pliers that are curved, heat gun of some sort, pair of wire cutters, and just regular cutters, and any trim pullers. I also used a creeper. We're going to get started on our HD bumper install. We're going to remove the factory bumper. On my bumper, I do not have the rear sensors. That part I will not be showing. The tools I'm going to be using right now are, you can use a small pair of, or a small screwdriver, but I like using these curved needle nose to get the LEDs out of the reverse sensors. I'll show you that. And then I'm going to use my 16 millimeter ratchet, and I've got a flashlight in case you can't see. Bright daylight today. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. We're going to remove the 7-pin connector, and it's really simple. It has a little latch on the side. You're just going to push it in. You can do it with your finger and then pull it out completely. And it looks like this right here. And you can see how that flexes. And that's what releases your 7-pin connector. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the connector for the reverse lights. And again, I like to use the curved needle nose to do this. There's a little pin that's on the side, you'll see it. And when I squeeze the needle nose down, I can use the needle nose and just pull it right off. So I'm going to put it in. It's a little awkward, but it works better. You don't damage your connector. So there it is right there. And you can see where I'm pushing in on the side of the connector. Let me release it so you can now see that little piece right there that pushes in to remove that. And I'm going to repeat this on the other side. And we're going to do this on this side the same way. Well, awkward the way I have them holding my hand right here, but it will push it and release it. This is more me in my awkward position than it is this connector. I'm actually trying to, there you go. So now I've got that loose, and there's your connector. Now we're going to remove the wiring harness. It's just got little Christmas tree connector pins in behind it. I'm using the same tool, and I'm just going to pop these out. Hopefully they'll come out easy. You can already see them starting to come out. There's one, and go through all these and get them. A little bit hard to see, I'm sure, because it's way up under here. Awkward position again, but very easy. It's the very awkward position. I know my hand's going to be in the way of this one, but I don't have any choice because that I have to get some leverage. You can see them coming loose, coming out. Work your way down. So far, and again, these are for the reverse lights. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out so you can see. So there's your reverse light connector, and we've already pulled 1, 2, 3, 4 loose. Let's go over here and get the next one. And so I think I've only got one more. It's the other one. It's on the other side of this 7-pin connector. And the last one is really awkward to get to. Kind of got to stretch. And there it goes. So the last two we won't remove, but they're actually on the frame. They're right here. For the last one, it's right there. And that's also where the 7-pin connector is. And we got to remove this too for the 7-pin connector. There is one Christmas tree. I'm actually working that out with my hand, and then that's where they secure. I'm just going to hang these over the top so that they're out of the way and we won't damage them in any way. I don't have a pre-installed hitch on my Jeep. I don't know how those are, how you would work around those. But if you don't have a hitch on your Jeep, then it's going to be a T45. There's just 2 of those that are holding the cover to the bumper on the bottom, and then we'll go to our 16mm. So let me loosen these up on both sides, and then I'm going to cheat a little and use my cordless ratchet for the rest. The next step will be removing the 16mm bolts. There's 2 on each side. The first set is going to be here next to the reflector. We do not have to remove the reflector. It's in there. So I'm going to loosen these up.
I think you're spinning the washer.
And we'll keep these to reuse them. We're going to repeat this process on the other side. So my Jeep came with these rock guards, and they are attached with 2 bolts to the bumper as well as 3 bolts to the frame. What I'm going to do is just remove it from the frame. I'm not real sure if I can go back and reuse these with the new bumper, but just in case, I'll just go ahead and remove it. It's a little bit easier to get to these 3 than it is the 2 that are attached to the frame itself. This is a 15mm. And we'll do the process on the other side. The only thing holding the bumper onto the frame now are the 2 bolts that are behind the license plate, this is where you will need a helper because this bumper will fall to the ground once you remove this. So I'm gonna have my helper hold one side, that side. I'm gonna remove the 2 bolts and then we're going to put the bumper down. We'll go ahead and put it in the box that the other bumper came with just to keep it protected. Now, the only thing that you will need to remove are your hooks. You will not be reusing these, so that's what it's going to look like. So these are 21 millimeters, and we're just going to go ahead and loosen those. Kind of tough to get to. My socket's a little big, so I've got to work it in here to get it in without scratching my tailgate. It would help if you had a shorter 21 millimeter, but you can do it this way as long as you're very careful and you won't damage your tailgate. So. Set that to the side and we'll repeat. The next step is we're going to remove our 7-pin connector from this bumper so we can put it in the new bumper, and we're also going to be removing the LED tail lights. Push in and it just kind of, once those pins push in, it's really simple. That's all it's doing. It's just pushing those pins in and it'll snap right in the new one. We'll show you that in a minute, but that is your 7-pin connector and your 4-way connector. So now we're going to remove the tag light assembly. You do not need to worry about the tag light itself at this point. So I've already taken the other side off. I will show you how it's done, but I wanted to take it off so you could see how it went together. So you've got your tag light, and then you've got your inner bezel retainer. And that's what this is, this little shroud right here, okay? And then on the opposite side of the bumper, you might want to look, you have your light and you have the cover. So that cover goes in, right? Actually on this one, it's this way, on both sides, and this has to come out. The problem is that this on the back side is what's holding this on this side when you're looking at it. So what you have to do to remove that, so that's between this, is you have to pull these or pry these little tabs up. Now, 2 of them are easy to get to. You're gonna see in a moment that one of them is impossible to get to. So you're basically just gonna have to pry it off. You're not gonna be reusing these anyway, so it's no big deal. As you can tell, I didn't really damage this. This could go back together if it needed to. So we'll show you. So he's going to pry those off, and as you do, it would help if you reach around the other side with a pry tool to get the cover and sort of pry it back so that that snap ring, or that snap clip won't go back. So we actually used the light just now to sort of push. So if you do push the clip in on the light, and as you're releasing the tabs, push in on the LED light, and it'll just pop right out. That's the easiest way. So once again, what this was, it was held in right here, and then this fit into that, and your LED light was in here, so it was clipped in like this, and it all went together. But now it's off. So now we just got to put these in the new bumper. These are pretty simple. You just snap them in from the outside, and they just pop right in. So now that both LEDs are in, and by the way, they only fit one way, so you're good. The LEDs are going to be toward the vehicle side, and then there's a little gap right here. Now we're going to put the 7-pin 4-way connector in, and then once again, it's just going to pop right into place. That's it. The next step is to put the upper brackets on. They're labeled P, D, P for passenger side, D for driver side. We are on the passenger side, so we'll start there. So simply going to go on. Using supplied hardware, you're going to get the bolt with a flat washer, come up underneath the bottom, another flat washer and a lock washer, and then the nut. There are 2. Hand tight, do not tighten them yet. We're gonna repeat the process on the driver's side. Next, we're gonna get the stud plate. It's welded together, so it's therefore a plate with studs. And we're going to put it on the back side of the truck frame. We're gonna use the plastic retaining clips. The only value of the retaining clips is that it will hold the stud plate on the frame while you are trying to put the bumper on. So those will keep that in place. And we're gonna repeat it on the other side. So now we're ready to put the bumper onto the truck. In preparation, you will need a flat washer and a lock washer along with a nut. Get those finger tight and then do the lower stud bolts. So if you're satisfied with the gap on both sides, then you can go ahead and tighten down your nuts. You're gonna need an 18mm socket. I've got a deep socket and I've got an extension for it. Also, you're probably gonna need a ratcheting 18mm wrench to get in behind these to tighten them up. So we'll do that. Before you completely tighten your stud plate nuts up, get them just kind of snug a little where this bumper will raise up and down still, so that you can put your bolt in the upper plate, because it goes through the backside. Lift up a little and work it in. So once I've got it in there, I'm going to finish putting my washer and my lock washer and then my nuts. Once this is done on both sides, check your gap again on the east side of your bumper from the body of the vehicle to the bumper and make sure you're satisfied, and then tighten everything down. Now we're going to tighten this upper bolt and nut on the upper mounting bracket. This is the one time where you will need 2 wrenches. You will need your socket on one side and then your ratcheting wrench on the other side. You'll also need your socket and your ratcheting wrench. You're going to come up underneath the inside going toward the outside to slip it over the nut on the upper bracket, and then you're going to put your socket and you're going to tighten. So you got to get tight now. Repeat that on the other side, and then we're going to tighten the 2 stud nuts. So this is one thing you will have to pay attention to. If you put your tail lights in prior to trying to plug them in once your bumper's attached, you will not be able to get the plug assembly together because there's not enough room. So wait and do this after the bumper has been mounted to the vehicle. So once you get there, go ahead and pull your wires through after you've routed them correctly. Plug them in. These only fit one way, as I said earlier, or may have said. These only fit one way. And once you get them in, it just pops right in and snaps in. So now you're going to wire the light, and you've got several options. It does come with a wiring harness with an on-off switch. This would have to be run from here down the passenger side rail through the engine compartment, and you would connect to positive and negative in the engine compartment. Then you would come back through the firewall on the driver's side and mount your on-off switch to the dash somewhere. That's one option. I don't like that option. I don't want to control it. I would just rather have it come on when I've got the tail lights on. The option is to do some splicing into your Jeep wiring. I don't want to do that. So what I did is, in my 7-pin connector from my Jeep towing package, I just removed or took that. I bought the Curt T-connector that has the 4-pin on one side, and that way I can plug into my Jeep wiring, make sure it snaps into place. Check that. Plug this into the 7-pin connector that's existing, and that's right here. Look, I put it. There you go. And now I can take this wire that goes to the new bumper, splice into it on red and black to my negative and tail lights on a plug that I can plug directly into this, so that my only splice point is the bumper wiring. So I went ahead and used the wiring harness with the plug. So this is the plug that came on it in case I do need length later on. I didn't cut and splice right here where it's very short, and I just did a splice here with heat shrink tape, and I used a 4-pin connector to plug into my T connector that I bought, the Curt T connector. And to clean this up, I'm going to go ahead and put some loom on it just to be neat. A little cleanliness never hurts anyone. It'll keep some grime, potential grime, out of it. As you can see, this stuff's not easy to work with, and I did cut off a piece that's kind of small. And by that I mean the diameter. So this is going to take me just a second, obviously. So now, to complete the project, there's some snap-in caps where the reverse sensors would go if you don't have reverse sensors. If you do have reverse sensors on your vehicle, just be sure when you remove them that you keep them in the order that you remove them. They are sensitive. Make sure that you clean up using your tie wraps to make sure your wire is all secure up and out of the way.
So that is going to wrap it up for my review and the install of this Jeep License by Red Rock HD rear bumper with the LED Jeep logo backlight, fitting all 2020 and newer JT Gladiators, and you can find this right here at extremeterrain.com.